most memorable thing you saw happen on an aeroplane?
When I first found out how the guys were using certain pills on the airplane.
Are we talking Somas, that kind of affair?
Yes, that kind of stuff. And I remember talking to this guy sitting behind me. He was just like, Cat, we were getting ready to go somewhere, a long flight, Germany, somewhere like that. And I remember just turning around. We were just talking, having fun. Hey, he was sitting right behind me, and we were like, hey, yeah. And no lie, about maybe 10 minutes later, I turned around and I said, hey, his eye was rolled in his head like he was like in some kind of trance, and he was like foaming out the mouth. And it shocked me because you got to understand, I found myself in a different world when I came to wrestling. I was in the world of karate to where everything was, you didn't use drugs, you didn't lie, you didn't do anything. You used martial arts for the good. So you didn't drink. And that's what I've been ever since I was young. I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I never tried weed, I don't drink alcohol. So here I'm in the business to where these guys, not that they used substance or whatever, they had to, some of them felt like they had to, just to cope with the things they had to cope with. So I thought that this time for him to take this long trip, the only way he could sleep is to take one of those somas. But once I saw that, man, it just scarred me for a while. I couldn't even almost relax because I was worried about him. But by the time we landed in Germany, it was like nothing ever happened.
Is it one of those things where you're getting into such a foreign business to what you're used to, and I don't even know if it's like a wake-up call, but it must be such a jarring thing to see.
Man,
sort of like how the other half live, in a sense.
Oh, you said you nail on the head, man. Just think about this. I'm in a karate. Okay, let me tell you my career. Yeah. I played pro football, and I never really made the pro team, but I was invited to camps every year. So I was trying to make a football team. New England Patriots, Atlanta Falcons, boom. Then being in shape, being around guys, my friends who didn't drink, didn't do anything, because we all wanted to make it big in the thing. Then I got into karate. I started kickboxing, where you train to keep your body the best performing body you can have, not drinking, not doing drugs. And all of a sudden, I'm in a business. The first day was like, I'm in a catering. And I did not just come in there. I had to stay in the power plant to learn to wrestle for years before I went out on TV. I came in because they had something for me. So I was in school about maybe 2 months. Then they think, I'm on Monday Night Nitro, the biggest show, because they needed me to go in to save Glacier and do a kick and all this stuff, something I could do because I was athletic. But my first day, I remember sitting in catering. I'm sitting there and I'm just looking around by myself because I didn't know a lot of people. I'm sitting by myself and I'm looking over at the table where you got Hulk Hogan, somebody I've been watching my whole life as a fan of wrestling. Then the Macho Man, then Nash. All these guys did Sid Vicious. All these guys I've seen on TV, watching wrestling, it's like, wow, I'm in a room with them. So the only thing I did not want to do, I didn't want anybody to notice I was in there. So I kept my head down. And it was like a totally different world. So by the time I look up, and somebody standing in front of me with his plate. And that was Scott Hall. Scott Hall said, hey, can I sit here with you? I said, yes. So he sat down and we talked for a little while. He ate with me. He said, you're going to do good in this business. He said, anything I can help. Nicest guy you ever want to meet. Anything I can ever help you with, just let me know. So, I sat with him, ate with him. And that was my first encounter with big name guys in the business. But then once I started to get over and they started having to invite me because my numbers were doing pretty well, it was still a different world. You know what I'm saying? It was still a different world. I wasn't used to that kind of world. I wasn't used to the treatment that that wherever we go, you got people just wanting to see you. They want to touch you. The wrestling fans are totally different than any other fans that I know of. Wrestling fans are really sincere about not just the wrestler, but the business. You got people who are smart, people who study, people who know more about you than you probably know about yourself, because they put the puzzle and pieces together. And when you see those people, when I walk sometimes, somebody say, "Hey, Cat," I turn and look at them, I had to ask myself, where did I know this person from? If this might be somebody I met when I was young or something like that, then they know so much about me. But then when they said, "Thanks, I'm a wrestling fan," I'm like, oh my goodness, man, he made me feel like he was a long lost relative because he knew everything about me.
It's got to be.
It's a different world, different world.